Hello and welcome to all. The great Jules Vernes had imagined it in the 19th century, in one of those fabulous novels of anticipation, and today in 2020, it is Elon Musk who has taken over. You will have guessed it, the incredible Hyperloop project, this revolutionary means of moving, which consists of a vacuum tube in which capsules of travelers would transit at full speed. The project, which was rotting in the young billionaire's drawers, will therefore most likely come out in the light of day, because Dubai, the capital of pharaonic projects and excessive works, has decided to have its own Hyperloop. The latter would thus connect the emblematic city of the United Arab Emirates to the country's capital Abu Dhabi, covering in only 12 minutes the equivalent of the 150 kilometers of the desert that separates them. Will we thus witness a true global revolution in the transport of people and goods at the end of 2020? And is Hyperloop technology really so reliable that it will finally dethrone airplanes as a means of long-distance transport? Today, we are going to try to answer these questions, and many others as well. The genesis of the Hyperloop can be traced back to a great French writer of the 19th century, Jules Vernes, who evokes in one of his short stories, pneumatic tubes circulating across the oceans at the fantastic speed of 1,500 kilometers per hour. More than a century later, it was the turn of Elon Musk, a brilliant engineer and billionaire in his spare time, to imagine such a means of transport and to rethink it, but this time including the technical and practical side of it. The idea of a Hyperloop to get around would have germinated in Elon's head in 2012 when he got stuck in one of Los Angeles' exasperating traffic jams. He then imagines what could be the fifth mode of transportation, in addition to boats, planes, cars, and trains, and one that would also be much faster than all the others. Initially, the Hyperloop is a means of transportation consisting of capsules carrying passengers and goods, which would move in a double-raised tube. The inside of the tube would be perfectly under vacuum, to limit air friction as much as possible and increase the speed considerably. The capsules will then be propelled by a magnetic field, created by induction motors placed all along the tubes. Basically, the capsules, which would almost float in the emptied tubes, could reach phenomenal speeds, even exceeding the 1,000 kilometers per hour. Hyperloop was born and the hyperactive billionaire had laid the groundwork for a new transportation technology that would probably revolutionize the world a few years later. Little by little, the project was born and Elon Musk was giving more and more technical details, such as its design and operation, but also more and more details. In 2013, the billionaire revealed crucial information about the Hyperloop, such as its propulsion and power supply, as well as the cost of its implementation and operation. By disclosing this kind of information and details, Elon Musk clearly showed his willingness to encourage collaborative development, focusing on the open-source aspect of the project, allowing everyone to participate. The boss of Tesla and SpaceX has not registered any patent for the Hyperloop, and although some of his engineers are working on the project, Elon Musk asked for help from the public to improve his basic idea. But the main lines and expected objectives of the Hyperloop had already been decided by Elon, who wanted his new invention to dethrone the airplane as the safest and fastest means of transportation. Indeed, and contrary to aircraft, the Hyperloop would not suffer from climatic hazards, and could thus circulate in all weather conditions, as long as the tubes are perfectly sealed. The capsules for passengers or goods could also reach twice the cruising speed of an airliner, which would allow the Hyperloop, for example, to connect Los Angeles to San Francisco in only 30 minutes. The Hyperloop would also have a definite advantage over the noise and air pollution caused by airplanes. And the icing on the cake, the Hyperloop will also be completely autonomous and totally clean from an energy and environmental point of view, since the tubes where the capsules will circulate will be lined with photovoltaic panels and will thus produce their own electricity. In light of all these advantages, it is legitimate to ask why no country has yet equipped itself with this certainly revolutionary and futuristic means of transport. Especially since the cost of building its entire infrastructure would be much cheaper compared to other similar projects, such as the TGV. Before continuing, it is time to answer the question of the day, and today it is about general culture. What is the fastest train in the world? Is this option A, the TGV, option B, the SC Maglev, or option C, Hogwarts Express? Think carefully and write what you think is the right answer in the comments. Answer just before the end of the video. Indeed, the cost for the entire installation of the Hyperloop's infrastructure is around 11 million euros per kilometer, compared to a bill ranging from 15 to 30 million euros for the TGV in France, for example. And since 2013, several full-scale tests have been carried out, demonstrating that Elon Musk's project is not as far-fetched as its many critics might claim. Indeed, the latter do not miss an opportunity to make fun of this pharaonic project, by putting forward so-called scientific arguments in their defense. Among them is Alon Levy, an Israeli mathematician specializing in urban planning and public transportation, who is constantly trying to ridicule the Hyperloop project. According to him, Elon Musk would pass over in silence a quantity of determining factors, such as the comfort of the passengers as well as their safety, and which makes that his project does not really hold the road. Many internet users specialized in high-tech have also expressed their doubts about the feasibility of the project, evoking moreover practically the same reasons. Indeed, if they are rather admiring in front of the concept and the stubbornness of Elon Musk to want to concretize it, they fear that the question of the safety and the comfort of the passengers are a real break to the development of this project. But what all these detractors and impediments seem to forget is that Elon Musk is not stupid, and one only has to see the full extent of his many achievements to be convinced. He who has been able to turn the dying Tesla brand around and made it a superstar among cars is well capable of overcoming technical difficulties that are all in all quite commonplace. In fact, and despite the bad press, 6 agreements have already been signed, including one in California, another in Slovakia, and even in India. However, it is the project that is supposed to link the Emirate of Dubai to that of Abu Dhabi, which is of course the most publicized, if only because of the gigantic scale of the work or the huge sums of money involved. This pharaonic project was in fact decided as early as 2016 when the RTA Roads and Transport Authority of Dubai had signed an agreement with Hyperloop 1. This agreement, signed under the blessing of the prestigious and very rich Dubai Future Foundation, aimed at that time to assess the feasibility of building this at least revolutionary transport system between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. The United Arab Emirates, symbol of the emerging country par excellence, wanted to equip itself with the Hyperloop, synonymous with its entry into the third millennium, and for this, they were ready to pay the price. Just imagine, the 139 kilometers journey between the two Emirates, which would normally be done by car in a little less than 2 long hours, being shortened to only 12 minutes. The Hyperloop is expected to carry approximately the equivalent of 8,640 people per hour using 120 capsules, which will be in constant motion. These shuttles will normally be able to accommodate 10 passengers, while other capsules will be reserved solely for the transport of goods. By launching this incredible project, the United Arab Emirates will be the only country in the world to have such a means of transport. Such a feat would therefore only confirm the young state in its position as the economic leader in the region and would give it great publicity among the concert of nations. The 2020 World Expo in Dubai was thus the perfect opportunity for the Emirati leaders to present their Hyperloop project to the rest of the world. On this occasion, it was planned to inaugurate the first section of 10 kilometers long, fully developed, and completely ready for use. The capsules that should be operational had already left their assembly plant in Spain for Toulouse, where they will be tested on a small prototype section. The entire system of the Dubai Hyperloop, therefore, had to be fully operational to demonstrate it at the World Expo. However, the schedule had to be changed, obviously due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which forced the organizers of the event to postpone it to a later date. Initially scheduled for October 20, 2020, the Dubai World Expo will not take place until October 1, 2021, thus delaying the launch of the Hyperloop project by a good year. The section in question will still have cost a considerable amount of money, which represents an investment of $3 to $6 billion. Of course, the bill will be even higher when the entire 150 kilometers Hyperloop line between the two city-states will be laid. But as the saying goes, when you love, you don't count the cost. Especially if you have enough oil reserves to keep the world going for decades. So, what do you think of the incredible public transport project adopted by the Emirate of Dubai? Give us your opinion in the comments. Otherwise, for the answer to the quiz, it is in fact the SC Maglev, a Japanese train with magnetic overvoltage, which is capable of reaching the mad speed of 603 kilometers per hour. I hope many of you found the answer. And before you leave us, don't forget to check out our channel on your daily appointment with the unusual and fun.